Kirk Cousins in a minute, but first, check out this bounce pass from LeBron to Anthony Davis.
No, this was a point in the game where they weren't playing as hard as we've been advertised.
Correct. But that was like you want on the fast breaks. You want to be able to see a few of these dunks. Earlier in the game, the ref called a kick ball, which ended a fast break, and both players on both teams got upset. You want to see some of this in the All-Star.
Joel Embiid, though, right here, interestingly, he had on Boogie's jersey. So it was like that didn't require defense because Boogie don't play defense.
More LeBron. Look at him and Westbrook teaming up for the alley-oop.
I mean, this is a 33-year-old, oldest guy in the game, almost hitting his head on the rim. So watch it, CC. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, almost hit him in the soft spot right there when his dome, the sky roof right there, about got taken back a little bit.
Then he covers up with that, what do you call it?
Smoke, man.
Smoke?
You know what it is. The same stuff they put on your face. On your beard, bro, to make it look like you're an adult.
Someone zoom in on Chris's head, please.
Crushing you.
Go right ahead. I've been on the earth a long time, and I'm not ashamed of it. Now what you gonna do? All that smoke you got on your beard? It ain't really no beard.
What about the young pup, Victor Oladipo?
Now, this is a real dunk. See, there's no smoke to this. This is all athletic ability. All right? Smoke and mirrors. Now, I wish, see, we should have had him do this on Friday in-game. He is a better in-game dunker than he is in a dunk contest.
Yeah, there's a few of the guys like this things they do. If you did that in a dunk contest, no one would care. But in the game, it's awesome.
All right, time for in or out. The new All-Star Game format with players choosing teams seemed to pay off. This game was competitive all the way to the last shot. CC, are you in or out on the new All-Star Game format being a success?
I'm totally in because it's more entertaining. The fans, we as fans, like we win. The All-Star Weekend, we know it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but we forget about the game for the most part. It's anticlimactic. Now they bring it back into focus. They need to play a little bit harder. Don't want this to be like the Pro Bowl. So I'm glad they made the adjustment.
I'm totally in on this. And people were worried, well, if they play harder, are guys going to get hurt? And I admit, I watched the game.
People need to stop saying that. And you know who says that? People who never play.
All right, well, that's
oh, my God, I'm worried about getting hurt. When you going to work today, there's a better probability of you getting hurt than a pro athlete going hard in a competition.
Well, I understand why in football games, you don't want to play any extra full contact football games because it takes so much out of you and because the risk of injury is so high.
You actually risk more injury when you don't know the speed of the competition compared to being able to gauge a guy coming at full speed, either that being football or basketball.
So I loved it. I thought it was awesome, and the ending was great.
All right, moving on to a breakout star. Last night, Joel Embiid had 19 points, 8 rebounds in his first All-Star game. Nick, are you in or out on Embiid joining the ranks of the top tier of the NBA players?
I am in. I've been a guy that's felt that Embiid's been a little overhyped given just he played 31 career games headed into this season. I wanted to see more from him. I wanted to see if he could stay healthy. Thus far this year, he's stayed healthy. He's been a terror on both ends of the court. And seeing him yesterday when they were trying to, I thought foolishly, get switches out on him. Man, he can guard you out at the top and stay with you to the rim as he did to Paul George, as you see him doing to Russell Westbrook. I thought Embiid was awesome, and seeing him out there against the best of the best, I thought was great.
Yeah, he's a tremendous talent. All we could say is, man, he's going to get injured. Or, man, I don't want him to get hurt. Or, man, I wonder what he's going to be like in full sample size, because that's all we have to go on. But what we've seen, man, he is a brilliant basketball player. He has the skill level, shooting from three-point range. Inside game, has the type of footwork, and has that rare personality where he's going to be able to add something to a telecast or to social media. So he is a breath of fresh air. As far as the modern-day athlete, I'm glad to see someone like him who's totally different.
CC, of all the young guys in the league, 24 and under, I think Giannis is the only one I'd rather have than Embiid. I'd rather have him than Karl Anthony Towns, any of the rookies this year, Simmons, any of them. I think Embiid's the #1 guy after Giannis.
What about the brow?
Brow's the year older. Brow's 25 now. So okay, Brow, Giannis, and Embiid if we're going to include.
Would you go Giannis Brow? Or
yes, Giannis, Brow, Embiid if we're going to include.
And I'm going to get him waxed. European wax. We're going to get the national deal. Get that
You
thing.
keep saying that.
Going on.
Brand, man.
There is no, you know what his brand is? His game. Okay? Because if he didn't have a game, would you know him?
What? No, but the brow helps. We
I like
disagree
it.
on
He's a
this.
Chicago kid. All right, next up, LeVar Ball had some interesting words for LeBron James coming to the Lakers. When asked if LeBron would make Lonzo better, LeVar said Lonzo would make LeBron better. CC, are you in or out on Lonzo one day being able to make LeBron better?
No. No, I'm totally not. I'm out on listening to the dad. Like, when are we gonna get a soundbite from him and be like, you know something, that's crazy. Oh, we'll put that with the rest of them. Well, like, stop. Next thing you know what was missing from LeBron James' career?
What?
Lavar Ball coaching. That's what he need to be. He need to be coached by me. He ain't seen no coach like me. He ain't never had no great coach. Let me coach him up. I'll make him better. Yeah, with all them stats he's got, like 2.3 points in college. All right? What were your college numbers? What were your college numbers?
Oh, I don't remember these things.
Was it more than 2.3 points?
Yes.
Thank you, because I knew that. Come on, you got to know your own. That's why they keeping track. That Nick will tell you that. Like, you got to keep track of the numbers.
Exactly right. And you got to make sure everyone around you knows the numbers. Can Lonzo one day help LeBron? I'm going to be out unless LeVar was talking about LeBron James Jr.
Man, go.
Now, Bronny in 6 years, when Lonzo's a 7-year pro, maybe that LeBron James, Lonzo can help. But LeBron James Sr., nah.
You know what he's yelling at him? You know your daddy wasn't done. I watched your daddy. I would have took your daddy to the home. You know your daddy wasn't nothing. The little baby boy, your other brother, he ain't gonna be no good either.
CC, you do a good impression of LeVar.
Well, it's a lot of bad. Big bad.
We've been hearing too much from him. To the NFL, Vikings' new offensive coordinator, John DeFilippo, says Kirk Cousins is, quote, a heck of a football player. Nick, are you in or out on Kirk Cousins being the Vikings' best option at
I'm
QB?
out only because of the salary cap ramifications. He's obviously the best quarterback available, but if you sign him this year, next offseason, you are going to have to get rid of or let walk a lot of those key defensive players that made you who you were this year. So because of the salary cap, I am out.
One reason why the Vikings got rid of Adrian Peterson, they didn't want to be a one-star team. They are a team that's driven by the young talent that they've drafted and cultivated. They can get 2 quarterbacks for the price of Cousins. I'm out.
All right, finally, to baseball. Tim Tebow will be back for the Mets in spring training, but GM Sandy Alderson has much grander plans for the former football star. Alderson says he thinks Tebow will play in the major leagues. CC, are you in or out on Tim Tebow making the majors someday?
I got to say that I'm in.
Wow.
Well, I mean, now, if they have him throw the ball, I'm out. But as long as he can catch it or hit it, but if he decides to throw it, that's what Tim Tebow, that's his only problem, is when that motion, when that ball leaves his hand. Besides that, I mean, if the general manager, which is very, very important, if you got the general manager in your job saying that potentially you think he wants to be wrong, or you think he's going to be swaying it towards being correct? So I'm going to go with the expert in this one, and he's the guy making the decisions. Tebow will end up in the major leagues.
Wow, I'm out. I root for Tim Tebow. I think he's a good guy. He wasn't a good football player, but
if you're rooting for him, how would you be out then?
Because I can root for someone, still don't think it's going to happen. I would like it to happen. I don't believe it will happen. Man, baseball is such a specific skill, and hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in pro sports, hitting it consistently. I just don't think a guy who's picking it up, I know he played last year, but prior to that,
you only got to be able to get 2 hits out of 10.
Does it count if he's called up for a game or 2?
He would need 3 out of 10.
There's guys hitting 200 in the majors?
Not guys, but those guys didn't hit 200 in the minors. You got to hit 3 out of 10 in the minors to have a chance at 2 out of 10 in the majors. I just don't think he's going to do it. I hope he does. I don't think he's going to. We'll see. I didn't know we were going to argue about Tim Tebow.
No,
I feel like we're on a different show.
We're not arguing.
Okay. Oh, yeah, we're not raising our voice.
Thank you. Praise
I like raising our voices.
Coming up, will All-Star Weekend
Danielle,
sway Paul George's free agency decision? That's next on First Things First.
Gottlieb, where you at?
Got to show some passion, man.
No, you can do that without raising your voice.
Sometimes it's something.